Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into Inner Excellence, Master Your Mind, Transform Your Life by Jim Murphy. This book, it's really a powerful guide for building that high-performance mindset.
Yeah, it really.
Murphy's main idea, that real excellence, it comes from, well, learning to detach from specific results, living fully in the present, and really training your inner world.
Yeah,
So our mission here is to give you a shortcut, really distill how you can unlock that potential, especially when you're under pressure.
absolutely. And it's interesting, while it's written with, athletes and performers in mind, the core ideas are so valuable for anyone, really, anyone aiming for excellence or just trying to handle performance anxiety. It's got some surprising points that can genuinely spark those aha moments for you.
Okay, let's unpack this then. This idea of detaching from results. What does that actually mean for how we perform?
Well, Murphy argues that true performance isn't really about winning or losing. It's much more about mastering your inner world, your inner state. When you let go of that intense need to control the outcome, you actually reduce fear, anxiety, and that tendency to overthink.
So the focus shifts.
Exactly. It shifts to the process itself, not the potential win or loss. It's about performing for the sake of performing well in this moment.
That sounds, well, maybe a bit scary for people who are really driven by results.
hmm
How do you detach without, losing your drive?
That's a great point. It's not about becoming passive or apathetic. It's about releasing the grip that needing a certain result has on you. Murphy suggests things like constantly bringing your focus back, right back to the action you're taking now instead of worrying about what might happen later. The drive comes from loving the process, not fearing failure.
Right. Okay. So if letting go of results helps with external pressures, what about the internal ones? We all have that inner critic. How does inner excellence suggest we handle our self-talk?
Ugh, the inner voice. Yeah, this is huge in the book. It starts with becoming really aware of that internal chatter. Most of us, often unconsciously, are running these fear-based narratives in our heads.
Like worrying about messing up or what people will think.
Precisely. The book teaches you to first notice these thoughts, then consciously replace them, swap them out for thoughts that build clarity, confidence, and presence, taking control of your mental space.
So it's an active process.
Very active. It involves those thought reprogramming exercises the book details, practical ways to systematically change those default negative settings.
Okay, so focusing on the process, managing inner talk. How does being in the present moment tie all this together? Why is now so critical for excellence?
Because excellence can only happen now, that's the core insight. It's not in regretting the past or stressing about the future. Your ability to perform, to make good decisions, it exists solely in this present moment.
And there are tools for that.
Yes, practical ones. Things like mindfulness exercises, specific journal prompts to keep you anchored, breath awareness techniques. They're all designed to pull your focus back to the here and now, like hitting a mental reset button.
The book also makes this really bold claim: fear is a liar.
That's quite direct. Can you elaborate on that idea?
It is direct and it's powerful. Murphy differentiates between, say, real physical danger, that fear is useful, obviously, and the psychological fear we often feel in performance situations, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. Most of that, he argues, is imagined. It's based on stories we tell ourselves about potential negative outcomes, not actual threats.
So recognizing it's just a story is the key.
It's the first step, yeah. Questioning that fear helps you see it for what it is, which unlocks courage and a sense of calm right when you need it. It builds mental resilience.
Got it. Okay, one last core idea. Who you are, what you do. This separation of identity from achievement. What's the significance there? This is fundamental. Murphy stresses that your core identity, your worth as a person, isn't tied to your results. You are not your wins or losses. By focusing on building character, integrity, inner calm, basically, focusing on who you are, external success, often becomes a natural byproduct. It creates a stable inner foundation.
So your self-worth doesn't ride that roller coaster external results.
Exactly. It's much more stable and resilient.
And like you said, it's practical. The book includes tools like daily mindset, journal prompts, visualization, breath control. That pause, breathe, choose method sounds useful. Also thought reprogramming, peak performance routines, stuff elite athletes actually use.
Right. And these aren't just for Olympians. Think about everyday life dealing with information overload, managing work pressure, handling difficult conversations. That Pause, breathe, choose method, for instance, is super simple but effective. It just stops that automatic, often unhelpful reaction to stress, gives you a moment to respond consciously. These tools really offer you practical ways to navigate your inner world better, leading to those breakthroughs in focus and calm.
So, wrapping this up, if mastering your inner world really is the key to true performance, maybe the question for you, listening, is this. What aspect of your inner self will you choose to explore or train first this week?